Welcome to this week's episode of Listen to Your Coaches. I am your coach, Mike Wilkins, here with Coach Will Morrill, and behind the scenes, the young producer, Max Gerald. This week, we dig into stuff that I can't see anymore because Max took it off the screen. There we go. This past weekend's UFC, Garcia versus Onama, the reffing betting scandals. I'll talk a little bit about our fantasy league and why you want to be in it as well. The upcoming fights this weekend, the more important ones at the 247 Fighting Championships, but we'll also kind of touch on the upcoming UFC. Let's get into it. Coach Will, what's got you fired up today?
I'll tell you what doesn't have me fired up. No, oi, it's your boy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was going to say that on the way over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So normally, like, that's my Monday morning. I'm like, all right, I'm going to, oi, it's your boy, Jack Slack.
Yeah, dude, I'll catch that like Sunday. I'll be like doing some chores or whatever, or Monday morning getting ready. And yeah, dude, it must have been such a bad card. He was like, not today.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, let's get to the card. All right, Max, go ahead, change screen.
First things first. How much of this card did you watch?
I didn't watch this card at all.
At all?
No.
Dude,
bits and pieces here.
I feel like that's the best way for us to do pods when you haven't seen any of it.
Yeah, let's just keep doing that.
Especially,
you and Max watch the fights, and I won't.
Especially when there's controversy.
Come on.
Because then, like, you have no, like, you have no announcer. You're pretty good at not caring what the announcers think anyways, but whatever. Let's get into it. First things first, main event, Steve Garcia put a beating on Onama. This one wasn't even really close. There's really not much to talk about. He just kind of beat him up. I mean, Max, I don't know if you saw anything that was like particularly.
I think I don't like this because I think I picked Onama in the picks. I can't remember. You know what? One thing that I hate is, like, I'll be watching the fights or watching the results of the fights while I'm watching the fantasy, and I'm like, who did I pick this week?
Yeah,
right. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, who did I pick? Like,
I do that constantly. Even like, dude, I was watching it with two of the people in the fantasy league this weekend, and I would like look at my lineup, compare it to someone else's, and then like watch the fights again and be like, wait, who did I have? And it's just like, yeah, there's just too much data, you know.
I'm not even just talking like I'm talking about like on show picks, like for
dude,
our season.
Those. Yeah, I have no clue.
Yeah,
no clue.
Max could completely just go and change them at any time.
Yeah, I'd believe him.
I would like. I'm gonna start like trying to remember.
He'll just make like one change, and I'll be like, I know I didn't choose that.
Like, yeah.
He'll be like, oh, we'll pick Strickland. I'll be like, no, I didn't.
Like, run the tape.
Although I might actually, because he's a good fighter.
But anyways, we do have record of it. We could always just go listen to the episode.
That's a good point, but we probably won't.
Us down. We're off this.
All right, yeah, this fight was what it was.
No, right. This fight was what it was.
We got a lot to talk about. Okay, so first off, let me explain how I watched this fight. I know I told you, Max, maybe I told you in text, I forget. But so I was watching this fight with Auntie Delia's, like, one of his best friends, right?
Is here at your house.
Is here at my house watching the fights with me, right? So the way that happened, originally I was going to be watching the fights with my boy Aaron, and then Pogal was like, oh, I'm not going camping this weekend, I'm coming through. And then my boy Andy randomly hit me up and was like, hey, man. And he's like not normally a UFC dude, but he was like, yo, what's up with the fights? And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm watching them come through. And he's like, oh, can my brother-in-law come? And I was like, oh, that's right. He's friends with one of the dudes in the UFC. And then I put it all together. His brother-in-law is also Croatian and is like best friends with Delia. So like we're all fired up for this fight to go down. Since you haven't seen it, I'll give you the brief rundown.
I saw it.
Okay.
I watched this one.
Fair enough. So you know what happened, basically.
But I only saw the second half of the fight.
Oh, when it started back up.
Yeah,
okay.
I saw Waldo holding his eye, and then I saw the fight restart, and I saw him knock him.
Yeah, got you. So, I mean, basically, that's what happened. You know, got poked in the eye, took some time. Now, here's what's weird about this fight. So, Auntie pokes Waldo in the eye, and the ref stops the fight. Now,
like a TKO stop, or like
stops the fight. Right.
Oh, okay.
Well, so after he pokes him in the eye, he finishes him, right? Legit, like TKO. But like you can see he's holding his eye, and he's not like that hurt, but he's like holding his eye, and it's TKO, right? And fight's called off. Now, if this wasn't like the past like couple of month run we've been on, I'd be like, I'd be like, oh, the ref called the fight. The fight's definitely over, right?
Yeah.
And
but
then
we've seen,
we've seen some shit. So
what do they call that? Like legally, they call it
fraud.
No, it's like when something happened before in a case before and they use it.
Precedent.
Precedent. Yeah,
I thought you were going to say double jeopardy. It already happened.
No, precedent. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna, never mind. But anyways, so yeah, fight's totally over, and clearly there was an eye poke, in my opinion, right? The other people in my house maybe didn't hold that same opinion.
Well, I think so because I saw his eye after, and his eye was like poked out.
Yeah, I didn't see the actual eye.
You ever been poked real bad in the eye? That's what happens to your eye. It goes like this, and then it like changes colors.
Right. So, but in my mind, what should have happened is
I'm dealing with one right now, bro.
You got poked earlier.
I got like you ever have your contact? You don't wear contacts.
No, contacts.
You ever wear contacts, Max? When it gets like folded and like slid up and it's like stuck there. So then
it's the worst thing ever.
You got to do this. You hold your eye open and then you like hard blink, like while holding it open, and you can feel like the muscles like kind of like shoving the contact out of the back of your eye down to the front. And it finally drops out, but it's been folded for so long it now has like a crease in it. So you got to try to get that crease out. But I needed that contact back in because my prescription is invalid. I need to go back to the eye doctor, but it's like there's never a good time to go to the eye doctor. So I need this contact to last me quite a bit. Damn. So instead of just like thugging it out without a contact or just tossing it, I tried to salvage it, but I needed to salvage it and I needed it now. So I put it back in, so it's got a crease in it, so it's giving me every blink. It's giving me a little like scratch on the eyelid.
Dude, I am so thankful that I don't need contacts.
But if I do this,
then you're good. Rest of the pod
it's
like
chilling.
that. We'll get you one of those
monocles.
Well, no, what's the old British movie?
Clockwork.
Yeah, Clockwork Orange. We'll get you one of those things. Keep your eye open.
That'd be tight right now.
And we'll just wet it manually.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even know where we were. Oh, we got poked in the eye, right? Yeah, so in my mind, what should happen is the fight stays over because it got called off. And then Waldo's team should put in some sort of like, appeal, and it should become a no contest, right? That's how I think things should have happened. Let's just start there. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I can get on board with that.
Okay, because in my mind, once the fight stopped, it stopped, and like they can make other decisions afterwards.
But now I don't know. No, I don't know.
Well, just play devil's advocate.
Okay, I'll play
steal me on the
devil's
other
advocate.
side.
I mean, like other sports have instant replay. Like why? Like you know what I mean? Like
well, so that's the thing. Is
we had.
It's prohibited in this situation.
What do you mean?
Max, can you pull up the official rules on this? But I believe
this is Nevada.
I believe the way the rules work is once the fight is stopped, then you can't use instant replay. And I think instant replay can actually only be used in very specific situations in MMA. We should know this. Well, either way, spit your point, because it,
Well, like in football, like you want to see if the ball crossed the goal line or not. We just had an instance this weekend. I believe it was the Bengals and Bears, in which a coach. So it looked like a runner had fumbled the ball on like the 1 inch line, and it crossed the goal line and went out of bounds, which would result in a turnover and a touchback for the other team. Okay, so. But they rolled it like down at like the 1 inch line.
Okay.
Right. So they challenged it because the defense was like, no, dude, like this is our ball. That's out. That he fumbled. That's out. We're taking this touchback. So during the challenge, it goes the complete opposite way. They're like, oh shit, he scored a touchdown. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. But wild. Like, I think the thing is okay, I think the bottom line, what you want to do is get it right.
Yes.
That's what you want to do. Bottom line is like, if the technology exists for us to get it right, if you're able to get it right, then you want to get it right.
No,
for example, if the technology existed that you could prevent eye pokes without interfering with the striking and grappling abilities or just fighting abilities.
Right.
Would you suggest we use that technology? Yes. Okay. So we don't have that right now. So what we do have is instant replay. So right here, the rule says for the Nevada State Athletic Commission, the Nevada State Athletic Commission utilizes instant replay to review fight ending sequences, specifically determine if the end was caused by a legal strike or a foul. If instant replay is used to review the sequence, the fight cannot be restarted.
That's what I'd remembered.
Now, that's only on a fight-ending sequence, right? Which this technically would be a fight-ending sequence. So what would happen if, it was like a low blow and they were like, check that. Like, can they do that in Nevada? You know how we see that? We've seen it, right? Where they're like, nope, that was clean. Or it was a low blow. He gets the 5 minutes. Or nope, that was clean. Run it.
And I think that's the appropriate usage of it because the ref didn't call the fight, right? Which like, I mean, we've all fought before, right? You know how like whenever the fight's over, there's that like change in your physiology where you're just like, it's kind of relief. And if you won, you're obviously like excited and like, it's just like everything changes. And like, as an athlete, yeah, you should be able to deal with stuff and whatever. But in my opinion, once a ref calls a fight, like anything that changes afterwards.
And we are sure, I didn't see it. We are sure he called it TKO, 100%. Not called it like, whoa, stop.
Done. Yes, 100%.
So he was like, fight's done. Why did they even go to instant replay anyhow?
Well, I think they just wanted to know what happened. You know what I mean? Which like, I as a fan, I want to know as well.
So the ref sent it to instant replay. Hey, make sure that wasn't an eye poke.
That I don't know. I think Waldo was just like complaining about it, and then I think they're just looking at it anyways. And then somehow, I don't know how that all went down, if the ref asked or what happened.
Because that would change my opinion if the ref is asking, hey, check that. Then in my opinion, then that's a misinterpretation of a call off.
Yeah, I think my big thing and like why I was so upset about the Jake Matthews Neil Magny fight was because in my opinion, once a fight is called, like
it wasn't the Jake Matthews Neil Magny one. That wasn't a file dispute. That was the dude called it like him unconscious.
Exactly,
and he ended up being not unconscious.
Right. Which again, in my mind, it's like, and again, maybe I'm off here. Maybe you have a different opinion of this, but like whether the ref is right or wrong, if he calls the fight's done.
I think in that instance, in the Jake Matthews, Neil Magny one, I think more so that because like, it's like you have to be intelligently defending yourself, right? Like if it was a TKO, if it was punches, you can't like get TKO, like have a TKO thing happen and be like, well, I'm fine, right? So if you're in
Except
a strangle,
next week when that happened.
Well, if you're in a strangle and you know, like the ref thinks you went out because you are maybe pretending to be out,
right?
You know, like that's
it is what it is.
Yeah.
And like it's unfortunate, and I do think that like fighters should have recourse outside of it. So like again, in this situation, I think Waldo should have been able to.
Can a referee in a professional fight? I believe they can. Can they stop like a fight in a joint lock? When you don't tap, I think they can.
Yeah. Tim Sylvia, and Frank Mir.
Yeah, there's that one. Yeah.
And that does actually make total sense.
Right. So sure. Like, then they can stop it in a strangle too.
100%.
Which that's actually the Jake Matthews one really irritates
especially
me.
When then the quote wrong guy goes on to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's
which we've seen now. I mean, like in this instance, right? Like it's like, oh, the wrong guy. Like according to the rule on how they use their instant replay. But do you think that's how it should be? Do you think
this one's
really
goofy?
Think that? For this fight, like okay, yeah, we see that the Nevada State Athletic Commission says that a fight-ending sequence, if it's reviewed and it's deemed to be a foul, the fight cannot be restarted. Yeah, right. We get that. That's the rule. Mm-hmm. Do you think that should be the rule, or do you think they should be able to look at it and be like, nope, that was an incidental headbutt that caused that cut, or that was an eye poke, or that was a groin shot?
I think and obviously I haven't put thought into this, but I think the intention of the rule makes a lot of sense. Because imagine
why? What? Yeah, give me this. So, I don't see how it makes sense.
Okay, so let's think about this fight in particular, right?
You're gonna say something that I'm not thinking.
No, I think you are probably thinking it. You might just have a good argument against it.
Okay.
Because I was just trying to find a reason why it makes sense, right? Okay. Think about this fight. Waldo's clearly hurt from the eye poke, right?
Right.
We've seen guys take the time and essentially get pressured into continuing, like think Kevin Holland, right?
Okay.
And if they call the fight entirely, then they're not in that situation. So that's one of the pros I can think of not starting it again. Also, in my mind,
it's not feeling pressured to fight
in a compromised state.
Yeah, but you were just, it is the alternate. You just lost.
Could be.
So then, I don't get that.
I don't know, but what I'm saying is that okay, so again, using this fight as an example.
So you think if they're just like, no, it's automatically a no contest, it takes the pressure off of you thinking if you should restart or not.
Again, I'm just off the top of my head thinking of some pros of why that rule makes sense. And I think it also maybe makes sense in terms of once a ref stops a fight,
That doesn't make sense because you still have the option not to. I mean, like Tom Aspinall just chose not to continue
Right.
off an eye poke. So if the fight ending sequence, then you should get the choice, right? And you're like, oh well, the pressure. I mean, that's just
Yeah,
it.
that's fair
What
enough.
if it wasn't a fight ending sequence? Then the pressure's there anyhow.
You're right, and
you know what I mean? Because it shouldn't have been a fight ending sequence.
And then you
is the
get that
bottom line,
choice. That's
right.
it.
So the instant replay is there not to determine on if the foul was like something or if it was a foul or not.
Right.
Because if it was a foul, then the fight should not have had a fight ending sequence.
now let me ask you this: what if? So from what I remember, Waldo got like pieced up, but he was still like standing and like he looked like he was okay. You know what I mean? What if he?
Then why'd they call the fight?
Because it was like a legit TKO, but like you know how dudes get TKO'd, but yeah. Now imagine he would have got like absolutely slept, and like he shouldn't be fighting again after that.
Well, yeah. Well, then you're not going to get restarted there.
Yeah, so you're just thinking individual
you were knocked
situations.
out.
Yeah. Then that makes sense.
Then that's a doctor stoppage.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
And
you're
then they can
knocked
go
out.
back.
That's like, you know what I mean? Like a doctor can stop that, or a ref can stop that and determine that it was like that what happened after the foul was bad enough. And honestly, if that's the case, that's a disqualification, not a no contest.
Ooh, interesting. Oh,
Like Peter Yan,
Yeah.
Aljamain Sterling.
Now, I believe the way that they determine no contest versus disqualification is intentionality of the foul. Is that a real word?
Yeah, I mean maybe, but yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, like, yeah, I think like intention matters.
Yeah.
You know,
I can see it both ways because some
I
people
think
are
it's
like
like a gray area, right? It's like a foul is a foul, but like, you know, like okay, I don't know, I threw a kick to your body and you ducked your head into it, or I threw a kick to your body and then you like shot down to your knee, so now you're a downed opponent,
Right.
And like, or I was throwing a knee, right, and you took a shot to your knee, right, and now you're a downed opponent and I need you in the head,
Right.
You know, it's like
Yeah, no, I think that definitely matters. It's a weird gray area. And I think the thing that bothers me most about it is just lack of consistency. Now, let me ask you something else specifically about this fight. So, so Antip trains with Tom Aspinall, right?
Uh-huh.
And when asked about the Aspinall eye poke situation, he said, I've had over 30 pro fights and I've never poked anyone in the eye. And he said that like last week. That's unfortunate.
that is funny.
Well, hold on.
I had 23 and I did poke one person in the eye.
Yeah, but you were cool about it.
I was cool about
Now,
it.
what do you think about like? I know John Jones had that interview where he's basically admitted to like, at the very least being very lax with following the rules because he knew that like there weren't really repercussions. Did you see the video?
No, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, that, and then I believe it might have been Herb Dean or some ref was like, yeah, I've talked with guys who were retired, and they were like, yeah, we totally like we're just cheating.
I've never
intentionally.
fouled anybody on purpose. I know that. You
Yeah.
know what's crazy too is fouls against me. I've committed one foul inadvertently, and the ref didn't see it, so the ref was like, my opponent grabbed his eye, and the ref was like, keep going, and I refused. Right? I was like, no. I was like, I poked him.
Right.
You know. I backed up. The ref wasn't like mad, like, oh, why didn't you listen to me? He was like, oh, thanks.
Right, yeah. He was cool.
He was like, yeah, thanks. I didn't see it. So if I didn't see it, I can't call it. So your honesty was like a sign of sportsmanship. And I was like, oh, yeah, cool, thanks. And then I was fouled once. Eric Calderon, he was like grabbing my shorts.
Yeah.
And then I called it. I was like, he's grabbing my shorts. And then he let go.
Yeah.
Never grabbed him again. Right? So I think it was just like, like.
Right, just in the moment.
Like. I don't think it was intentional on him either. It's just like, he grasped for something. You know what I mean? It's like, whatever.
Which, isn't it crazy how that happens in striking all the time? Like the easiest example is if you have a kickboxing fight, and especially if it's like a mixed card or like sometimes the refs aren't super familiar with like the difference between striking sports and whatever, and dudes will be catching kicks. If you're in the corner and you just start spitting out, yo, that's illegal, they stop doing it real quick.
Oh, that's crazy. That's dirty.
What?
Cornering like that.
Hey, man.
I'm
just telling the truth. I'm like, hey, that's illegal. Like,
no, but you were saying I was reading that as if it was legal.
Oh, no. I'm saying
you're saying it's illegal to get
no. I wouldn't do that. But like, I remember Brody had a kickboxing title, and the other kid kept catching his kicks, and like the first few you let happen, but then he kept reaching for him, and we're like,
well, that's just letting the ref know.
Yeah.
Right. Like, hey, like. Like, let's get on the same page, or you can't do that. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
The ref was a certain no nonsense, and he told us after the fight, he was like, because in the first, Brody like crushed this kid with clinch knees, and he dropped him twice with them, and the third time he like dropped the kid, and or was like about to, I forget exactly how it happened, and the ref's like, oh, that was a low blow, and I was like, no, it's not. Like, I'm watching, it's not. And after the fight, he was like, yeah, I know that wasn't low, but I had to do something. I was like,
no, you could have stopped the fight.
yeah, dude, like, what do you mean?
Whatever. All right, okay. Have we exhausted this fight?
I think so. Well, what's your final decision? I think that it should have been stopped after the fight ending sequence, you know, when the ref called it, and then shouldn't have been restarted. Waldo puts in the appeal and it becomes a no contest. Or it could become a no contest in the moment if the ref is like, oh, I messed up, I didn't see that.
I think the opposite. I think the right thing happened. I think that if it was determined an eye poke, right? I don't think that the fight ending sequence means the fight has to be stopped. I think it would be a judgment decision. Like if he was knocked unconscious,
right,
or something, then yeah. Or if the eye poke was bad enough that he couldn't continue, a la the Tom Aspinall fight, eye poke bad enough that he couldn't continue, then the fight immediately is a no contest there. But if he's able to continue, it's all good. Let it rock. If you're like, oh well, what about D'Elia and his like dump of adrenaline thinking he had won the fight? Well, it was a foul, dude. Like that's just what it is.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Like it was a foul. You didn't win the fight, right?
Yeah.
So like you're mistaking and think that you did. That's just what it is.
I could get with changing the rules to support that. Last thing on that was they also didn't start a foul timer. Like once they found out that it was an eye poke, and in my mind, I'm like, that needs to be retroactively applied because that 5-minute rule should still apply if we're going to be consistent. But again, I'm diving
like
into...
you know what I mean? So did he end up taking more than 5 minutes?
I have no idea because there was no timer.
Well, it's easy to figure out. Just go watch the tape back.
Yeah, dude, I was chilling with the homies at that point. You know, I have no idea.
Well, then it seems like it's a moot point there. I think you only need to like figure out that 5-minute timer if the freaking if he takes over 5 minutes,
right.
And if he's taking over 5 minutes, then it's just that now he's no longer afforded the option to continue, and now it is no contest. And if you think he's taken over the 5 minutes, it shouldn't be hard to figure out how long it's been since the fight was stopped.
Right.
So
yeah, that's
like
that's
even if you forget to press the button on the timer.
Exactly, you just retroactively go back and figure it out.
Yeah, and like they have the technology.
And again, I know that's like a small detail.
They've got production trucks.
100%. And I know it's a small detail, but in my mind, like consistency is what we're lacking most here.
Yeah, but I mean, like, where are you gonna ever get consistency anywhere? Never
amongst professionals. Dude, actually,
no sport has it. Not a single sport in the world.
I would argue that other sports have it more so. Well, I don't know anything about
maybe
real
more
sports,
so. But like, I mean, there's always like, it's like, oh, well, this was called a catch here, but not called a catch there. This was called possession here, but not called possession there. You have it all over the place.
Now there's always some level
this
of
was called pass
subjectivity.
interference here, but not here. Like, you know what I mean? It's.
Yeah. Sorry. Last thing about eye pokes, because this just reminded me, dude. We got some idiot who commented on that clip that Max put out of us talking about Aspinall getting poked, and like you made some really awesome points about like how it depends, right? And like. And you made it in ways that I wasn't thinking. I was like, yeah, it does kind of depend. And you were like, yeah, dude, like if you're an older fighter and like this is your last shot, like it might be worth it if you're not going to get another chance. I was like, that I never thought of it in that way, but that like does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And because you gave that example, some kid was like, oh, actually, Aspinall's only 32, blah, blah, casuals, whatever. I was like, you didn't even watch the whole clip, dude. Like,
yeah, dude, what a fucking idiot.
That's so funny. Anyways.
What was his screen name?
I don't know, man. Max,
well, fuck you.
I agree. Fuck that.
Figure it out so you can address him by
watch
name.
your clips. Your attention span's 14 seconds. You couldn't see it. What did you miss the beginning? You fucking idiot.
His brain couldn't wrap his head around hypotheticals, dude. Oh shit.
All right.
That's so funny.
Yeah, fuck that kid.
Yeah, I agree. On to the next fight.
Jeremiah Wells. Themba
Gorimbo. Yeah, dude.
This was like good for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I had Wells on my
I have Wells. I know I have Wells.
On my fantasy squad.
I had Wells on my regular pick'ems because, you know, I roll with the homies. Wells, a Marquez MMA guy, part of that Daniel Gracie team that I used to cross train with back in my career. So good stuff.
So I remembered Kohai telling me that he was like the most powerful dude he'd ever like trained with. And I was like, bro, big knockout opportunity here. And he's like in like the extended team, definitely put him on the fantasy squad, right? Fight didn't go down how I expected. It was a lot of grappling. And at points during the fight, I was like, oh, did I make the wrong choice? But it ended up working out for me. Yeah, pretty grappling heavy fight. Nothing like particularly important to discuss.
Yeah. I mean, Themba got 30 fantasy points off takedowns there.
Mm-hmm. You know, he looked better than I expected.
All right, bump.
Yeah. Next fight. Okay.
And this is the one that everybody wants to talk about.
All right. So what makes this exceptionally hilarious for me is Chris was talking mad shit about his fantasy squad, right? And
did he have Isaac Bulgarian? Because I did.
And he was like, dude, I spent so much on this kid, and I was like, oh man, like he is the biggest favorite on the card, like.
He was 9,100.
I was like, he's gonna get some big points. Now, have you watched back any of like the highlights or just like people showing how like it looks kind of fake in some ways?
Dude, I actually I caught this fight live. Me and Danny were watching it, and I was like, how the fuck did this dude get here turning the wrong way over and over and over?
Yeah,
like turning into the strangle over and over. Yeah, he'd fight the hands well, boom, 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 and then turn it, and it'd be like relentlessly just turning in the wrong way. I'm like, how did he make it this far? You know
dude, also, did you see
he must be so good at everything else.
Yeah,
to make it this far, because like it wasn't even on my radar that he could possibly be throwing this fight.
No, exactly. I didn't think that at all. And then when I'm watching it back, I'm like, okay, if I were to lose a fight, if I had to lose a fight, how like would I maybe do it? Probably shitty shot entry, let someone take your back and choke you. And when you're watching it, he's like almost too good for his own good, because like there's certain times where, like you said, like he'll do some defensive things right and then just like completely mess up. Also the shot entry itself, like watching it back, knowing now that like it potentially could, you know, be a little screwy, I'm like, oh, that looks and I'm not saying it necessarily was, but awfully it looks awfully like it could have been like a fake shot entry. So oh man, like where do we even start with this, man? Like,
damn, look at those stats, dog. 3 of 6 total strikes, 0 for 1 significant strikes, 0 for 1 to the head.
Dude.
Oh man, 0 for 1 on takedowns.
Let me just start with this. Based on what we know, do you think this was a thrown fight?
Hey, I got a question. How's he 0 for 1 on takedowns and the other guy's 0 for 0?
I think they counted it as a reversal.
Yeah. Let me pull up Danny's thing.
How is that even possible?
You know what I'm saying? Because how could you reverse somebody if
you're on top the whole time? Yeah, exactly.
You know? So like here goes the thing. In certain jiu-jitsu rule sets, it's the initiator. So for example, if I initiate a takedown on you, I shoot on you, and you sprawl and go behind, they don't consider you having taken me down.
Got it.
Right? That would be me failing a takedown and you ending up on top. Right? I mean, it's so foreign to me, because in every form of wrestling, it doesn't matter who initiated or not, it's the end result.
Right. And that's the first thing I thought of. And I was like, how did that happen then? But I think you might be right, where it's about the initiator.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Max, you can find something about it. I don't know.
Also, these stats could be wrong.
Yeah.
That we're looking at.
No, but so back to my original question. You know, with the information we have available, which again, we're recording this on Monday, you know, not everything is out yet. Do you think that this was a fixed fight?
They did not give. I mean, I have not enough information.
I'm leaning yes. And again, who knows? More information might come out that makes me think otherwise. But I definitely think yes at the moment.
I think yes. So I think yes, maybe for different reasons. Like I didn't watch the fight that intent. Like I said, when I was watching it, it didn't even cross my mind.
That's not why I think that. It's all the stuff outside of it.
It's the stuff outside of it that's leading me to it. The fact that it's being investigated, that he's been released, that sports books have been returning bets on this, right? Like, that's crazy. Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Hold on. That's not even it, dude. Do you know where he trains?
No way.
He trains Factory X, right? Do you know who he used to train?
X, that's in Colorado.
Yeah. Do you know who he used to train with?
He used to train with
James Krause. Do you know why he trains at Factory X?
Why?
Because he can no longer train with James Krause.
Well, I knew that. Yeah, because he can't be in the UFC.
And do you know who James Krause's coach was? The coach of Factory X.
Mark Montoya? Is that
I forget exactly who.
What's
but
his name?
Saw it, yeah.
The Factory X head coach is Mark Montoya.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, there's still a connection there. You know what I mean? And again, I don't want to be making accusations. We know guys who are out at Factory X. Like, clearly they're a great gym.
Oh, I'm not saying anything about them. Like, you don't you don't have the control over that.
100%.
If you're like a gym like that, like I know people who go to go there for their camps, or whatever, right? Like you can't police that.
I'm not making accusations. I'm just saying, look at
like if one of our fighters threw a fight without our knowledge, right? Like there's no way. Like, how could we be responsible for that?
100%. Also, dude, if we're just gonna be like 100% honest here, if you're in the fight game long enough, you are gonna interact with bad people. Like that is how the fight game works. Like it's just. You know, like, so I don't want to like hold any one particular person like, oh, you trained with so and so, or you fought under so and so's promotion, or like whatever. Because I'm like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, you know. So, but that is an interesting, you know, connection there. And you know, for anyone who's not familiar with James Krause was a fighter and then a coach. And
he was super good too.
He was super skilled
at both, at fighting and coaching.
I agree.
He was actively fighting and coaching simultaneously in the UFC. He was literally like, dude, he was phenomenal,
dude. And also, there are
the fact that you could wear both hats. Like I've worn both hats, but not together.
It's so difficult. And also, like, there's a lot of coaches, you know, not to name any names, but like there are plenty of coaches who just show you like basic techniques and like they have good fighters despite the coaching level, right? Not necessarily the bad coaches, but they're not exceptional coaches. James Krause knew what he was talking about. He was smart. He was really, really good, but he also was deep into gambling. And from what I understand,
sounds like a path I'm going down.
From what I understand, he had like this Discord group where people would pay to get his gambling picks.
I wish I was in on that.
He also had this like ring where, again, very
I remember it was
level.
like one boy blew his knee out, but he fought anyhow, so they bet against him.
Well, I'm saying before that, like while I was still running successfully, the way it worked was he would like, people would contact him maybe from his Discord. I don't really know how it works, but like, let's say I'm James Krause. You hit me up and you're like, hey, I want to get in. And I'm like, all right, I can't bet anymore because like if you win too much, like they pull you essentially.
Yeah.
And so I'll be like, I'm going to use your account. And if you have enough people, you do small enough amounts that maybe they don't catch it or however it works. And then we split profits or whatever. And I believe that's roughly how it works.
Oh, wow.
If I'm wrong, someone can correct me. But anyways, James Krause, that all blew up. Like Mike said, he had a fighter whose knee, you know, wasn't in good shape. And a lot of, you know, bets went in. And some screwiness happened, and basically James Krause got kicked out of the UFC forever. So that's why that connection matters.
Shame. Free him.
So since then,
just put an ankle monitor.
That's
on
your boy.
Him. Give him house arrest. You know what I mean? Put an ankle monitor on him. Take his phone.
Since then, we have now seen that over 100 UFC fights are under investigation by the UFC or by the FBI rather for potential fight.
Now,
fixing.
is it since then?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I don't know when. I don't know. Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Got
like,
you.
Is this fight not the fight that like is like now these fights are under investigation?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if like
or were these fights under investigation? Now this is the one that made the investigation public.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But either way,
because how can 100 fights be under investigation?
Yeah, I was gonna say like
it's Monday.
They were saying over 100 fights. They were saying over 100 fights. Maybe like yesterday morning at the latest. There's no way they just
48 hours ago. This fight still hadn't happened.
Yeah, but to me, the timeline doesn't really matter that much because again, if you're the FBI, you have like essentially unlimited resources, and so like they could just like assign a bunch of like nerds and be like, hey, apply these like algorithms across all of these UFC fights, and let's check for when you know bets are coming in. You know what I mean? So like. Who knows? Like they could have started that within the hour after the fight happening.
Well, you know what's crazy? So I don't know how much you guys know about this, and I don't know much about it. But do you know about the whole gambling thing with the NBA?
That's
going on right now.
Only headlines.
Like the Pistons coach Chauncey Billups, or is he not the Pistons coach? I don't know where he's coaching now, or where he was coaching. But he was a head coach. He was first off, he was like a phenomenal NBA player in his own right, and then he was coaching. But like. Some like mafia ties, like illegal gambling, poker games, stuff like that.
I saw like the
which leads you to believe like point. Oh, and they had like one guy, and they were like, yeah, he would bet the under on himself, right? So it's like, oh, like Will Morrill to score 22.5 points, right? He would bet the under on himself, and then you'd see him like dribbling down the court and like missing it, or like straight up passing it to the other team.
Yeah,
you know. But whatever, I don't know enough about that to. Really be like going.
Yeah, give the explanation. Yeah, it's just interesting. Yeah, we'll.
I'm bored. Let's move.
We'll keep people updated on it.
Nothing.
Yeah, not particularly.
Nothing.
Interesting fights.
How about
Dante
your
Johnson.
boy-
No, we should talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, Johnson went into the 6-0, 6 first-round knockouts. I get the feeling that the UFC does not really like working with Cedricus. Is it Dumas?
Yeah, it's Dumas.
I don't know, whatever. But I get the feeling they don't like working with him because he, is, from what I understand, a repeat criminal, and he got kicked in the nuts that last go out and then couldn't continue. And I feel like the UFC was just like, we're sick of this dude. Let's just feed him to someone who's going to knock him out. Lots of grappling in this fight.
Dude, Dumas had a sick takedown.
Dude, I didn't think it was going to work.
Right? He came in, he snagged that single, went DC high crotch lift, and then went near side cradle. And then I texted to you guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, that takedown was sick. And then Max responded with something, or maybe one of you two responded with something. And then I was like, wait, I'm serious. That takedown was sick, right?
No,
like you said something, but I think it was about something else.
No. You read that right. I was like, yo, I was just shocked he finished it because, and again, keep in mind, I'm chilling with the boys. I'm drinking beers. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like super sharp on the details.
Yeah, no. Unreal takedown by Dumas. Dude, how did he finish that sloppy ass shit?
The way I remember it.
And then I was like, who? And I was like, are you saying the choke was sloppy or the takedown? Because the takedown was not sloppy.
Dude, the way I remember it is he like snatched a single and then he had like hula hoop arms like down by the knee. That's the way I remember it. And I was like,
he cracked him down, and then when the hip came in, he elevated, and then he went to a near side cradle. It was good.
Oh, dude, I remember it the other way around. I remember lift, and then he ended up by the knee and went crack down.
I was watching this
well, also a wrestling sequence. I'm always gonna keep.
I was almost sober.
Yeah, I'm gonna always defer
I only
to
had
your
a couple
memory, which is basically sober for you.
Sober.
Where, dude, I had probably 1.5 beers and I was done for it. Yeah. But Johnson ended up doing an awful lot of grappling himself.
This lame drop.
Well, hold on. The most important thing about this dude, did you see the height difference in it?
No.
Dude, 5'8" against 6'2". It was hilarious.
I didn't even notice that during the fight.
The betting stuff, when the reports came out, they said there were 2 fighters on last night's card that were being like looked at. It was Isaac and one other guy. And they didn't name who it was, but I did say right after this fight ended, I was like, Dumas looked like he had money on the under 1.5.
You did.
Just saying.
You did.
I called that like
I thought it was a
couple hours before.
You texted that, yeah.
I said that like a couple hours before all this stuff came out. Because Dumas, like, the takedown was great, but he's like doing like rolling thunder kicks from his knees, and then the guy starts locking in a choke, and Dumas is just kind of hanging out, like waiting for the choke to get locked up, just kind of weird. But
and that would make sense because he was complaining before his last fight that he only had $13 left in his bank account.
And he probably knew he was on the way out if he lost to this guy.
If he only had $13 left in his bank account, I mean, what was odds on the under?
That's a good question.
Let's say the odds on the under were plus 200. So this dude only made freaking $26.
I see what you did there.
All right. You want to talk about this robbery real quick, and then we can get off this card? I'm done with it.
Dude,
or do you just want to let it rock?
Hold on. I just told Max, I was like, yeah, I like half watched this fight, and I was like 99% sure that Dumont lost, which I was bummed about because I had her in my fantasy. And I left. I didn't even watch the decision. And then he hits us up and is like, how about that robbery? I was like, no way she won. That's pretty much all I got, though. Do you have any specifics from it? Oh, you didn't watch this.
No, I didn't watch it. Yeah. I don't care.
It wasn't a particularly interesting fight.
I want to be done with this card.
Real quick, go to the bottom of that card. Is there anything else interesting on it? No?
The last one was the women, the Ardelion fight.
All right, so here goes what we're going to do. We're going to tell you guys a little bit about some legal gambling. So, with our partners at DraftKings, we have started... Come on, guys. Why are you going to ruin that? That was a good clip. Hold on, let me restart.
We can edit it.
Maybe they'll sponsor us.
No, we'll leave it in. Let people peek behind the curtain, okay? We messed up that ad read. All right, hold on a second. Let me
the
pull it up.
ad read.
Relax, dude. Quit it. You're making me laugh. So, if most of you know the joke behind the scenes here is that I always try to make Will laugh, and then I start the podcast, right? I like try to get him laughing, and I go, welcome to this week, so that way he looks weird whenever we start. He's trying to mess up my ad read. Okay, all right. So, with our friends at DraftKings.com, is it .com or just DraftKings?
I don't know,
Restart.
dude.
Ready?
DraftKings Sportsbook.
No, but it's not.
No,
the
because it's not.
We do
sportsbook.
fantasy.
Oh, you're not talking about the...
Max, we
I'm
don't
trying to
endorse
read the
gambling
highlights.
here.
You said you were doing
we
legal
endorse
gambling. You were doing...
No. Listen, just relax. Let me run it. All right, take 3.
Welcome to this week's episode. Oi, oi.
Oi, oi, it's your boy. So, with our friends at DraftKings, we, Listen to Your Coaches, have started our own fantasy MMA league. We currently have 11 members in the league. The league is growing, and it is such a fun time. I want to give credit to this week's winner, Danny Jones, who put out an incredible 501 points, putting together a great roster of 6 fighters. But I'd also like to call in question his integrity, as he did have Diwali on his roster. So, was he one of those people putting in large bets late? I don't know.
Danny.
I can't speak for that. I was with him, but he was on his phone doing some stuff. I don't know what he was doing. I wasn't screen peeking. You know what I mean? So maybe he's part of this scandal. FBI. I don't know what to tell you. But anyhow, yeah. So if you are interested in partaking in next week's fantasy league, DM me with I want in and the slot machine emoji.
Okay. Slot machine emoji?
Yeah, it's like 777s, like whatever.
That
So the league has grown from 4 to 11 over the past week. Over people jumping in here. No, 4 to 6 and then 6 to 11. All right. This week's winner, as I mentioned, was Danny Jones. Second place, Coach Will Morrill. Third place, CPG. Fourth place, Brian Mitchell. Fifth place, Max Jarrell. Sixth place, PJ. Seventh place, Big Homie Zane. I took 8th. Nate was 9th. Vince, 10th. And Aaron, 11th.
Dude, it was comical how bad his lineup was.
Let's read his lineup.
Dude, he and Chris started running.
Bro, he had the Valley, though.
Dude.
And I know his bank account's looking nice.
Yeah. He and Chris started doing over-unders on how many points his guys would get. And they wouldn't look at it, and they'd be like, yo, over-under 12 points.
Bro, oh my God. His lineup was horrible.
Chris lost multiple dubs, though, to Aaron.
Horrible.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, whatever. So, we run that through the DraftKings Fantasy app, which is separate from the Sportsbook app, okay? The Sportsbook app, green background. The Fantasy app, black background, green D for DraftKings, orange crown, all right? If you use DraftKings already, it's the same login information for both, all right? I'll get you put in the league. We get the contest set up to go out 24 hours before the first fight, and how it works is you build a lineup of 6 fighters on the card. Each fighter is assigned a certain salary amount. I do not assign it. It is assigned by the good folks, our good friends over at DraftKings. And you have a $50,000 limit to make your team, and then scoring goes based on how the fights go. This is not exact, but an example, like a strike is worth 0.2. A takedown is worth 5. A reversal is worth 5. A knockdown is worth 10. Control time is worth X amount per second.
Yeah, like 0.01 or
something like that per second. A first round win is like 90 points. A second round win's like 70. A third round win's like 50. A decision's like 30. Like something like that. So you accumulate points from your fighter, and person with most points at the end. It might be a little off, like I said. I don't know exactly. But Snacks is making faces. About to get punched in one. That's roughly how it works. So thanks again to our good friends over at DraftKings. All right, let's move on. The 247 Fighting Championships. This weekend, ya boys. Stout PGH, we got five homies on the card.
We do.
5 big dogs.
We do.
5 hungry dogs.
We do.
That's right. Let's start off with Zachy. We got Zachy on the card. What's Zachy, like 19, 20 years old, something like that?
Somewhere between 12 and 20.
Yeah, somewhere. He's over 18.
Okay.
I know that.
Oh, yeah. Somewhere
because
between.
he wouldn't be able to fight if he was under. No, he definitely is. Yeah, he's making his amateur debut. We're really looking forward to watching his fight. Pretty green. One of the newer members to the fight team, but, he's got some good skills on him. Also on the card, I'm trying to go like in the order. So like he's a debuter.
Yeah.
So next I go Brian Mitchell.
Brian,
yeah, because this will be his last novice fight. We got Brian Mitchell. Everybody knows Brian Mitchell. Absolute dog, beast. 2 first round finishes, putting him at 2-0. Had a rough stretch of 3 opponents in a row falling out on him. But looks like this one's going through. Here we are, Monday of fight week. Fingers crossed. We rock this out. Fighting a gentleman from Youngstown who's coming in with 3 fight record, 1-2, I believe. So we're pumped about that.
Yo, is that dude's tattoo a lion with a horn? Or just a
looks
goat?
just like a lion with a horn. Yeah, I think you're right. At first I was like, no, dude, that's a goat.
That was, dude, I went through the exact same.
But hey, that's something. Maybe it's just something.
Oh, dude, maybe it's like an alligator behind the lion or something. It's like a tail or something.
Whatever. I can't. We can
Whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's put it this way: a dude with a tattoo like that, though, he's not pulling out.
Yeah, no, he's gonna dog up. He'll be there. Dude, click on view replies to Brian's comment. Brian Mitchell is so funny. More. What? Who is that?
Yeah, who's that guy? I don't know who this dude is.
Oh, well, we'll fight him next. Okay, so this dude was like, oh, you keep ducking me. We've never... Oh, he's talking about the other... No, because he's got his arm around him. Yeah, we've never been offered this dude. We would not turn down a fight against this bomb. Okay, all right, next. After Brian, we got Sean Livingston, 3-0, making his fourth walk to the cage. I believe his opponent's 3-3, so 6-fight veteran. I think he's a 10th Planet guy, so, some jiu-jitsu to watch out for there. But Sean is an absolute stud. We also have Logan Pryor on the card. He will be making his 6th walk to the cage. Logan had an unfortunate start to his career where he lost a split decision to a very good fighter with D1 wrestling credentials. And we were like, damn, Logan's like really good.
Yeah.
That was a really close competitive fight. And then he was winning his second fight, and there was a nasty cut caused by a collision off of his takedown. He got a takedown, they clashed heads, and they gave the opponent a TKO via cut, which should have been a no contest. Talking about incidental fouls, right? So like that shouldn't have been a DQ, right? Because it was not anybody's fault.
We need consistency.
Yeah, but I reeled off 2 wins in a row. Now he's looking to make his 3rd win in a row over High Ground's Jaden Blake. And then the big dog, the main event of the evening, you've got Lucas Steel City Siebert fighting for the inaugural professional Bantam 247 Bantamweight Championship against Bauerhaus's Terry Bartholomew. So get your tickets. It's at Sunny Days Arena this Saturday, November the 8th. Be there or be square.
Nailed it. You should be a pro wrestler.
Max, what do you have to say about that?
I didn't know if you guys were gonna
talk about the fights,
go into any coaching of some of Lucas's stuff.
So here goes our game plan.
Dude.
I'm not going into any coaching.
So we broke down some film, and we're gonna do this.
Yeah. So in the 47 minutes of film work that Will highlighted and sent to me, what I think we should do is. Yeah, no, we got nothing.
Dude, that is one thing I've realized about film work is like as you go on and you fight guys with more and more experience, dude, the film work takes forever just because there's so much of it.
It would be funny if you guys just spent like 20 minutes breaking down the film work and there's just 20 minutes of like the censored bleep.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, I mean, that's good, right? Rock on. All right, let's get to next week's card. Brown versus Bonfim. We can do our picks and look at our picks as we do this. That's this week's card. So we got to go to next week's card. All right, Gabriel Bonfim, 18-1 versus Randy Brown. I'm into this main event.
Was this the Bonfim who just got... No, that was the smaller
Bonfim
one. What was his last fight then? They fought on the same card, I think? Does that sound right?
This one?
Yeah.
Gabriel? I mean, he's 18.
Let me check. I didn't know.
He's the one with the hand position you like, right? The vertical, like slightly bendy.
He's got a split decision win over Stephen Thompson.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. I remember that fight. Okay.
Man, it's hard to pick against Randy Brown, though, because he is... I've seen the boy in the gym. So
he's good.
I know there's some affiliations here. He was at Marquez. He's also my generation, so tip of the cap to Randy Brown, but I'm going to have to make my official pick Gabriel Bonfim.
Interesting. I'm torn on this. I'm considering going Randy Brown. I slightly give the edge to Bonfim, but like this is one where I could potentially... I'm going to stick with Bonfim. Sorry.
Max?
I mean, I lean Bonfim. I want to see how the rest of the picks go, because then I might make my decision off of that.
And since you're so far behind, we will allow it.
I need to cover some ground here.
All right, go ahead.
Flyweights.
Ooh, Matt Danger Schnell versus Joseph Morales.
I don't know about Joseph Morales. I've seen Schnell
hit
fight.
that arrow. I want to see some stats on Joseph Morales.
Because I've seen Schnell fight.
Oh, I've seen Schnell fight a lot. Well, his average is more takedowns, more sub attempts. Striking is about 50% of that. So it's going to be a grappler versus striker, orthodox versus switch, open stance. We've got some height for Schnell.
I don't have any strong opinions on this, to be honest. I'm
just going to have to rock with the hot hand. I'm going Joseph Morales.
Me too.
Okay, Muslim Salakov versus Euros Medic.
Man, I don't know enough about these guys to make any out. Let's put it this way: Salikov, for a second, I thought he was that heavyweight.
No, dude, he's you know this dude. We've seen him fight a bunch. He doesn't he knock people out?
Yeah, he's like 42 years old and knocks people out with a spinning wheel kick.
I know exactly who this guy is. Interesting.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say that his good luck has come to an end, and I'm going to run with Medic.
Yeah, the dude's 6'1". Yeah, I'm going with
Okay,
him.
if we're picking that one, I'm going to go with Salikov then.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, old man strength. All right.
Take another L, add it to you.
I like that.
Oh, the other Bonfim versus Chris Padilla. I'm going to go with a Bonfim sweep.
I hate to just keep copying you, but I think that is what's going to happen here.
Do we have the same picks again?
I think we've only gone with the same, yeah.
No. Okay, so to my credit, here goes what you could
say.
Yeah. What people could say. What the people could say is that Mike built himself a lead. Will is within striking distance. So Mike is picking all the same picks as Will, so that way they can never deviate. Therefore, Will can never catch up. I have made every pick first.
Yeah, you've been very fair about this. I just think that you're spot on with the picks.
All right.
And I think we're going to make the same pick on this one, too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going with Ricky.
Yeah, me too.
Tricky Ricky Simone over Barcelos.
Close,
Barcelos. It was close. Cello.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? Keep going down. Let's not go too deep. Keep going. Adrian Yanez. Ooh. No. Josh Hokett. Give me Josh Hokett. Well, we probably shouldn't pick this fight, but oh my gosh, Josh Hokett. Wait, Max Jimenez?
Wait, the jiu-jitsu guy?
No way.
Out of Ground Control Academy, 32 years old.
Mike, can you explain to us why
he's got
those guys are interesting to you?
All his fights are for Shogun. I'm guessing that's the one you know.
Yeah, it's him. I can't believe he's in the I didn't know he was in the UFC. So he's like a world-class black belt, like...
Yeah, like competitive jiu-jitsu.
Okay, was in lost. He lost he was in CJI. Mm-hmm. He was in CJI.
That's
he
how
lost
I know
to
about
Nicky
him.
Rod in CJI. Matches with like Felipe Pena at ADCC. He's got wins over ADCC champs. You know what I mean? Like,
that's nuts.
Yeah, no, this dude's like a real deal,
dude, and he's a plus 300.
I mean, I'm still going with Josh Hokett. So this is super interesting. Had no idea this fight was on the card. Josh Hokett, former NCAA Division I All-American, was an All-American in football as well. Went to the NFL, was on the 49ers, short stint there, but played in a bowl game for Fresno State and then wrestled like the next week.
Dude, right? So he's a real athlete.
A real athlete.
Is he big? Is he a real heavyweight, or is he just...
He wrestled 197, but like through football obviously got bigger. Mm-hmm. So I think he's like he's going to be a very athletic heavyweight.
Max, can you click on him real quick and see if we get any weights? Because like if he's like above 240, 229, interesting.
Now, here goes what you got to know about Josh Hokett.
Well, you'll like him.
Will hates him.
Why?
Well, because you said you hate him.
What?
You don't like him, right?
I don't know who this dude is.
Oh, I thought you didn't like him. Max, didn't he say he didn't like him?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said he didn't like him.
Yeah, he hated him. So he is the next Colby Covington.
Understood. Okay, yeah, I probably won't like him then. Oh, I know exactly who this guy. He was. Yeah, I know
But he's
who
a
he is.
super skilled heavyweight.
Yeah, got you.
So,
Okay. Well, hey, the heavyweight division needs it. We need heels. I like watching guys fight who I don't like because it makes things interesting.
I didn't watch his Dana White Contender Series fight. Is he actually good?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, if you're an All-American and
Well,
a
here goes
football
actually
player,
something. Now, this is going to go. This about to go crazy. We might cut this off the pod. All right. NCAA wrestling is not looking so hot in MMA right now.
I was gonna say there's a lot of guys who like are really good wrestlers that even I know are like good wrestlers who like aren't doing great.
All right,
know?
Josh Hokett, D1 All-American. All right. That is pretty much a litmus for us. Like you're super legit.
Right.
If you're a D1 All-American. How many out of... Okay, so there is 16 people per weight class ranked. Okay? Mm-hmm. So, let's do this. Ready? There's 16 people per weight class ranked. There are 128 men in the UFC who are ranked in the UFC. 128. 16 across, because the 15, then the champ, across 8 weight classes. Out of 128, what percent do you think are D1 All-Americans?
I would say less than 5.
You would be right. You'd be right. Give me a number. There's 128. How many are D1 All-Americans?
What? Okay, I have a follow-up after this. How many total? I would say probably somewhere around 5, 3 maybe.
I was gonna say 2.
It's 3.
It's 3?
It's 3. Not only is it 3, but get ready for this. What the hell the fuck does that work? Guess the average age of these D1
those guys.
All-Americans.
I bet Colby's one of them, right?
Colby is one of them.
So I'm gonna guess it's like 38.
37 in 4 months.
Damn.
Is the average age. With Colby being the oldest at 39. Or not being the oldest. With Colby being the middle one at 37.
Wow.
Justin Gaethje is 36. Michael Chandler is 39. Those are your 3 NCAA Division I All-Americans that are currently ranked within the UFC. There are other NCAA D1 All-Americans who are in the UFC who are not yet ranked, namely Josh Hokett, who we are talking about at the moment, and Bo Nickel. But
I would be interested in less so how many of them are there, but of the percentage or of the guys who are there, what percentage of them do well? You know what I mean? So like, let's say in the UFC total, we have whatever, let's just call it like 10 All-American or above wrestlers, right? And we'll even include guys who are from other countries who are international or whatever we want to distinguish as like high-level wrestling, right? Of those guys in whatever we want to deem the modern era, what percentage of them work their way up into like the top 5? You know what I mean?
yeah, I
Because
don't know.
in my mind, that's
Well,
more...
in this era, like, not a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
But-
Here goes the thing, like, the most recent All-American that I can think of, D1 All-American I can think of in the UFC is 2019. Mm-hmm. That's Bo Nickel's senior year. And I think that's the year Josh Hokett All-American.
Let me rephrase my question, I guess. It's more of this. Is it that the high-level wrestlers are not going into MMA, or that the high-level wrestlers who are going to MMA aren't doing well?
I think the high-level wrestlers aren't going into MMA.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think.
So my gut take off it is like, so like we've had the eras, right? Like start off jiu-jitsu era. Mm-hmm. Then let's just talk about like kind of like more grappling based arts.
And also just so that like everyone understands what Mike's talking about here, he's talking about from the beginning, right? Like 93.
Yeah, there was like the jiu-jitsu era, which was shortly followed by like the wrestling era.
Wrestlers with
and right now I'd say it's a combat sambo era, right? Which gets weird about that. It's like, like now you're getting in the bases, not just grappling bases, because what makes combat sambo such a good base for MMA is
it's MMA.
It's MMA.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be like me saying like, you know what's been proven, you know, that'd be like us in 5 years being like, you know what I think the best base for MMA is?
Amateur MMA.
Amateur MMA.
Yeah.
Right?
Which, hold on, let's be fair.
Because you're seeing way less and less people go straight pro.
Right.
Almost everybody is doing some amateurs now. You know? Even Bo Nickel did amateurs.
Now, we should be clear on definitions here. Like, that's your definition of Sambo, right? Like, the Craig Jones definition is some judo guys who decided to take their pants off. So, like...
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about actual combat Sambo. Which is like where we're getting like Islam Habib and stuff.
Fedor.
Yeah, stuff like that. So, but it's like, that's kind of already MMA.
Right.
You know, so obviously it translates good into itself, you know. But there's more money in wrestling now, okay? So like, we think about like the NCAA All-Americans who I just talked about. Chandler, when he All-American? 2008. Gaethje, if I had to guess, 2010.
Yeah.
And then Colby is in between their ages, so probably same 2010.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Right? So it's like, all right, so what happened since then? Right? Like where are these fighters? Well, Bo Nickel, he's a national champion. He's in, and I think he could work his way to being ranked.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, I certainly do. But like it's like people just really aren't coming over like that right now. And if they do, I mean, I think they're just not doing as well, because my thought on it is like when you're at that level of wrestling, like especially with your predecessors being able to come in and go straight pro and do well, right? Because the sport of MMA wasn't as rounded. So these guys were able to come in and do well right away. They're able to go pro, do well right away, right? So now it's our era, and we saw like, oh, our assistant coach fought in the UFC and this and that, blah, 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 and he didn't have to do amateurs and stuff. So you jump in thinking you don't have to. Well, guess what? You do now. You do now. You can't jump in with just wrestling and like hang at that level.
Or even get
what I mean?
takedowns necessarily.
Now, not only that, you have to bring yourself in willing to do amateur, and you have to bring yourself in willing to be like a white belt.
That's what I was gonna say.
You're like, yo, you got to humble yourself down, and you got to learn. Like, you're, I'm at the elite level of this one discipline.
You're the man in this sport.
But you are, and you've probably been at that since like late high school when you're getting recruited to college and stuff like that. So you got to come in and you got to like really bring yourself down. And it's like, man, do I want to do that? How much money am I going to make to do this? Right? It's not a lot. It's not a lot, right? You're going to make more money doing almost anything else. Right? You're going to make more money. Let's say you stay with wrestling. Okay, I'm an All-American, so I can probably get a spot on an RTC, that's a regional training center, and I'm probably getting paid way more in a year. I get paid a yearly salary, which is going to be way more than I'll make in a year fighting until I am ranked. So I've got all those years now that I know I have to put in all these years to get there because wrestling isn't the end-all be-all anymore, you know? So it's like, oh man, that's going to be tough. And then on top of that, right, like, you know what has exploded since like that 2010 era? Club wrestling, right? Do you know how many clubs there are now, right? So like, you can go open a club. You're a Division I All-American. You can go to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, open up a wrestling club, have 150 students, and be making, you know, good money.
Yeah.
Right away.
Consistent
right
money.
away. And then on top of that, there's college coaching jobs and like other things like that. So there's just a way more like easier way to make money by staying in the sport of wrestling than jumping into MMA. So it's almost to the point where like you really got to want it. You really got to want that. You really got to want to fight, you know? And the other thing that I'm kind of predicting is I think that once you're done with college wrestling, if you want to transition to MMA, like right now it's still good to go.
Right.
But I think like 8-10 years from now, you're going to need to already have something before you're done with college wrestling, right? Like coming in at 22 and being fresh to striking, 22, 23, and being fresh to striking and fresh to jiu-jitsu, it's going to be too late.
Yeah.
Right? So you're going to need to like do some other stuff in the off season. And the thing is like at the high levels of wrestling, there is no off season. Right? So you're going to need to kind of make that choice. And we're seeing that in a lot of sports. A lot of sports right now. When I was in high school, and Will, when you were in high school, how many 3-sport athletes did you know?
I did a ton.
Yeah, a ton. Everybody was a 3-sport athlete,
Yeah.
2-sport athlete. Like there was a minimal amount of people who like, oh, I only play football.
Right.
I only play baseball. I only wrestle. Like we all did other sports. You know what I mean? Now you're seeing the specialization happen earlier and earlier, right? Like most elite high school wrestlers, right? They're choosing to leave their other sports in middle school.
Right.
They probably played baseball in little league and like football or whatever, but then it comes middle school and it's like, all right, I wrestle now.
Right.
You know,
and
like
they're doing camps.
yeah,
and,
I mean, like, and it's a little, you know, there's pros and cons to it, right? I'm not like a fan of the early specialization, but it's kind of like weight cutting in MMA. It just is what it is.
Yep.
And if somebody's doing it and succeeding and you want to keep up with that person, you got to do it too. If someone's making those sacrifices of missing out on all the fun stuff of being on the football team and being on the baseball team because you want to be a national champ wrestler, well, that's just what it is. That's the sacrifices it takes now, you know? And it's like, you know, I'm not like pumped about it.
Right. But it is what it is. And dude, you made some... Bro, that was fire. You made some incredible points there. And I think you really wrapped up how I view this. I think it's much more that elite level wrestlers are not going into MMA, more so that they're not doing well. But I do think that both of them are relevant.
Yeah, but it's like, why aren't they? And it's the money thing.
Exactly.
And then it's like, not only the money, it's
also like how hard it is. That's what I was going to add on.
It's like, it's not like it used to be easy.
Right. If you were a high level wrestler, you could go in and you could basically not train and you just dominate most
I talk about like a lot of times, like my success in MMA was pretty much predicated on the era I came in. I came in the era where wrestling could get it done by itself, right? And I wasn't even like a great wrestler, but in comparison to the pool I entered in, I was.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was like right time, right place. Right? Like if you took me in the same skill sets that I had then and you dropped me in now, fizzle out quick, you know? But right time, right place, you know?
Yeah.
Things happened.
And that's why I was kind of tacking on is like even in the wrestling, it's like I don't even think that high level wrestlers are going to get takedowns the way that they used to like nowadays. Like everybody nowadays knows how to defend takedowns against the fence, right? And like how to use the fence to, you know, stop takedowns. So it's like, you know, if you took me against some like halfway decent wrestler and you just put us in the middle of a mat and have us wrestle, like I'm going to get dog walked. Yeah. If you put me, and I'm not even that good at cage wrestling, but if you put me back against the fence,
you're going to do better. Here goes the thing. Bottom line is, it's a tool to help you do better.
Exactly.
Right? It's like, oh yeah, it's like, yeah, like I'm not as good as wrestling. So like, if you would beat me this bad on an open mat, well, if you give me this cage, it's going to help me a little bit. Well, even if you still beat me bad, it's a tool for me, not for you.
100%.
Now,
100%.
The other thing to think about is, oh man, I just lost my train of thought.
Well, I have one more point on that.
Like
how
talking
difficult it is. I don't want to say wrestling, because wrestling is difficult in its own way, in the same way I think boxing is difficult in its own way. But MMA, relative to wrestling, is very violent. And like there are some like, you know, wrestlers who just like don't want to get hit. You know what I mean?
Which is crazy to me. You get hit so hard in wrestling.
Dude, and also there's a specific way too. What I've noticed with, and it's not everyone, this is broad strokes, but I've noticed this across, you know, I've trained hundreds of athletes at this point. Wrestlers, like they can get hit in the head and they just like don't care. Getting hit in the body, they're like, eh. And like Thai fighters, like obviously, you know, you kick them in the body, they're like, all right, whatever, you know what I mean? So I think there is like the violence factor of it, you know what I mean? It does it's a different sport, you know what I mean? So again, I think that also might dissuade wrestlers, especially when they're like, I could make good money here, or I could.
So I don't think it's that dissuading though, right? Because I don't think you could acknowledge that. If that would like I think you would just like, yeah, it's like I don't want to get hit in the body, but it's just like whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things in wrestling that I don't want to do that I've done forever.
That's fair.
You know, so I don't think it's that. What I do think it is also like wrestling doesn't translate as well because of the, like, we're talking about the evolution of MMA, which is it's both things together, right? It's not, oh, is it the evolution of MMA or is it how wrestling is? It's both together. The evolution of MMA, things are so much more well-rounded. People are so much more skilled. You need so much more that wrestling can't just get it done all by himself. But it's also like, what's the meta in wrestling, right? And the meta in wrestling is like terrific hand fighting. That's the meta. Whereas like when you came from like my era and earlier, for sure there was terrific hand fighting. For sure that was a big deal. It was less of a big deal now.
Right.
It was less of a big deal than it is now. There was way more shooting from the open. There was way more like 1-2 setups. And now like hand fighting is like its own sport. You can go do practices upon practices, spend months on months without even like with just doing hand fighting.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, and guess what doesn't translate at all to MMA? Hand fighting. None of that translated. Okay? Because now that hand fight has just been changed out to strikes. You know? So
And not only their
There's that as
technique's different, the range is totally different.
Yeah, the range is different and stuff. I just think like it's the sports are kind of evolving at the moment away from each other.
Yeah.
You know?
More so,
and I mean,
yeah.
We're at the infancy of, we're still in like the infancy of MMA, like obviously, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't expect someone to be like, oh yeah, I was a great wrestler. Now I'm going to go box.
Right.
And like be elite right away. Like,
right.
you know what I mean? Like, it's just, they are just now different things. Whenever there was an era where wrestling was also basically MMA.
Right.
Yeah. And we're seeing that with Combat Sambo. Like, it's like, oh, it's almost basically that. And then it's going to evolve past that, too.
Exactly. There'll be some weird rule in Combat Sambo that makes them favor X, Y, and Z, and that'll get exploited in MMA.
Yeah.
That's how it always works.
All right. That's it. Go to our picks from last week.
Oh, yeah.
Max, make your last picks. Are you taking Bonfim?
I'm gonna make them right here. I gotta. Which one do I want to score points with?
All right,
that's kind of my question.
Ricky Simone versus Barcelos, and Max is taking.
You put him in my spot, bro.
Max is taking Barcelos. Oh. And sticks with the theme of Bonfim.
Yeah, I gotta choose one to differ with.
Okay, so me and Will 4 for 4, picking the same again. Max having 2 different, so he can make a catch up. Max currently sitting at 74 and 70. Will sitting at 80 and 63, and ya boy Mike Wilkins sitting at 84 and 59. Let's take a scroll down. Let's see how we did this week. Everybody 2-1. Everybody went 2-1 this week. Both Will and Max took Garcia, while I had Onama, I had Waldo, Max and Will both had D'Elia, and we triple threaded it all down with Jeremiah Wells. All right. Good episode of this week's Listen to Your Coaches. Thanks to our partners at DraftKings. And we'll catch you next time.